shift your weight forward a little bit and then push your feet down, okay? Now watch my butt. No, sorry. No, but watch, it'll look like my butt touches, but on this one, I'm gonna stop short, okay? I like to start with squats. Part of being a human being is we need to lower ourselves down, whether that's lowering ourselves down to sit, whether it's to lower ourselves down to use the toilet, especially if you're talking about a non-Western toilet where it might be a little lower to the ground. Now, I can't tell you how many times I brought up squats to people, and as a first movement, and I've been told, oh, I can't do a squat. What I like to ask people is, can you sit on the toilet? Are you okay? And I gotta ask at the right times and in the right, appropriate settings. But the point here is that if you are able to sit on the toilet, you're able to lower yourself down to the toilet and you're able to get back up safely from the toilet. What that means is you're essentially doing a squat. Yes, it might be broken up by sitting down and resting in between, but those are all the movements, those are all the kinetics of doing a squat. So, to emphasize this point, I'm gonna start with chair squats. This is a great starting point for anybody who is less confident in their ability to do this, anyone who's kind of learning about how to do these things. The point of the chair squat is to give us a place to rest in between lowering ourselves down and coming back up. So make sure it's a safe chair. Feet about shoulder width apart, and then as I go out, as I lower myself down, it's important that our knees and our legs kind of go forward. We don't want our knees to go out over the sides of our feet or inside the line of our feet, okay? We want them right along the line of where our feet are. It's totally fine for your knees to go over your toes in terms of in front of like that. Again, feet shoulder width. Make sure that chair is nice and safe. I always touch the chair behind me because I want to make sure it's there. I don't ever want to just sit down, right?
Don't sit when there's no chair. Yeah.
But make sure that chair's there. You're in a good position. You're not too far away from it. Then you lower yourself down just like you're going down the toilet. You notice I put my arms out for balance. I like putting my arms out for balance. Sit down. And then as you come back up, if you rest in the seat, you gotta shift forward a little bit and then push the ground down, or our bodies up rather. Okay? Again, lower yourself down to the seat. If you're learning or if you're building strength, make sure you rest. And then you come back, shift your weight forward a little bit and then push your feet down, okay? So I'm gonna give you guys a different angle here, just so you can see. You can probably see in the mirror, but I wanna make sure that we get a nice kind of side angle here. Okay, now watch my butt. No, sorry. No, but watch, it'll look like my butt touches, but on this one, I'm gonna stop short, okay? Of touching, or well, rather, my butt might touch, but I'm not gonna put my weight down on the chair.
So if you practice chair squats already and you did fine with sitting your butt down onto the chair and then getting yourself back up, or if you already know that you can do that because that's what you do on the toilet every morning, this is the next step, okay? We're lowering ourselves down just to the point where we're almost putting our weight on the bench or the seat, and then we're pausing for just a second, not a literal second necessarily, take a moment, and then you come back up. There's rhyme and reason to that. I'm not going to get into all that right now. But again, if one of those is very easy for you, string a few of them together and do that without resting, or rather without taking a full rest. And you'll see that it starts to get hard over time. And that's the case even if you're somebody who does, lift weights and all that stuff.
The reason why I don't want to put my weight down on the chair is because I'm trying to increase the challenge. In this particular case, you want to move on to this if you try that, the first version of the chair squat where you're sitting and then it's too easy. So I'm sitting here, and if that's too easy for you, then this is the next step, right? So to go down, my butt's touching a little bit, but my weight is not on the chair. And then again, I push the ground out from my feet, notice it's a very natural sitting position. So natural that if I stay in it, you can see, same position, right? I'm gonna put it back. Don't do that.
Really, don't do that. It was dumb and silly. I was having fun. Stand up, go grab the chair, put the chair down, use the chair. I thought I was being slick. I wasn't.
Yourself, that was hard. There we go, a little sweaty from that. But again, the point being,
I don't know what I said there. Even the subtitle is gobbledygook.
Here is when you're ready to advance from the chair squat where you're resting, just do the same thing, just without putting your weight down on the chair. What that does is it increases time under tension, especially if you avoid resting too long when you're standing straight up. Now, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself because if you're learning, I don't want you pushing the repetitions. What I want you to do is I want you practicing doing them well, and always face forward, right? Keep your neck straight. If you're able to do this movement without resting on the chair, then we'll remove the chair, okay? Do a couple from both angles for you guys. So same thing here. Again, my arms out for balance. You can do whatever you want with your arms, but I like my arms out.
Okay, so if the straight chair squat, sitting down on the chair and getting back up is step one. Step two is lowering yourself down almost to sitting on the chair, but without actually relieving the tension and standing back up. Then removing the chair is step three.
Balance. I also grew up playing.
Again, don't feel like you need to go down this low. I'm doing this because that's my range of motion, and I'm also, modeling it for viewers. So go down to the depth that you're comfortable at.
Football, so I was a lineman, so it's also kind of just an old habit. But it's a great way to balance. And notice, however I'm using my arms, I'm staying in control. I'm not going hella fast, right? Going nice and slow and controlled. And after you string a few of these together, you're gonna be more than feeling it. And if you are somebody who's more advanced, string more of them together. Just make sure that you're not resting at the top or too long at the bottom so that your time under tension stays, the tension stays applied to the muscles throughout the movements, okay? The idea again being that we're just gonna get tired faster, work through the energy quicker, and it's good form. So